Welcome to NASPA Tonight. This is the weekly Facebook live show where we talk about all things Scrabble. I am delighted this week to be joined by the lovely, the talented, the one and only, the great and powerful Robin Pollock Daniel. Robin, how are you?
You know what? I'm alive. Everybody, hi. You haven't seen me for a long time.
That's true.
I'm really good. I'm really good. I'm busy. I'm happy, but I miss you guys so much. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Reno. Just for the hugs. Just for the highs.
Well, and the hugs are just the start of the week.
Let's hope. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, no, I totally makes sense. So you are once again going to help bring the live stream to everybody of
Yes.
all the top level action at NASC.
Well, the way you worded it would imply that I'm doing the tech. But in fact, I'm not doing the tech. I'm doing the online commentary. So I'm trying to push it for a 5-day thing and really create a narrative from the beginning, but we don't think we have the budget yet for that. So right now what we're going to be doing is starting, I guess, on Monday again, right? Let's hope it's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
No, it's Tuesday and Wednesday.
Is that it? What the
That's
hell?
it.
Okay, well,
So the stream
I'm free
is
for lunch.
the stream is expanding just a little bit because this year one of the things that is changing is we have a best of 3 finals in both lexicons. So that means an extra 1 to 2 games of streaming over the course of those 2 days.
Okay.
But also a whole extra best of 3 finals so that we get both lexicons going at the same time.
Okay. So not the cut off at 9, so Chris Cree, is number 10 and that type of thing.
We're
That
no,
won't
we're
happen
not
again? Okay.
doing that. That is what happened. Hello, Beth. Do you know Beth Mix?
You know what? Beth Mix sent me a friend request,
Yes.
and on a rare occasion, I said yes.
Fantastic.
Because
Well,
I love meeting another woman in Scrabble. So Beth, hi.
yes, Beth is awesome, and she says, "Glad to meet you, Robin. I'm a fan." That's
Oh,
what she
okay.
says.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to catch up.
Beth, are you
on
going to
all
be at
the
Nationals?
comments.
Am I gonna
Beth
meet you?
is going
Okay.
to be at Nationals.
What division?
Beth is playing. That's a good question. 2 or 3, one of the 2. I'm not sure.
That's very commendable, Beth. 2 or 3, it's not easy.
And while I pull up the comments and all that stuff, I want to encourage everybody who's watching tonight. First of all, thanks very much for joining. This is the last NASPA Tonight before Nationals, so we'll be covering a number of different topics about the Nationals. We'll look at some of the competitors, things like that. But please throw questions, comments, who your predictions are, all of that stuff into the comments. All of that stuff helps us out a lot.
It makes the show so much more dynamic when you're participating. So participate. And we can
Absolutely.
riff off of what you say, and you riff off of what we say, and
For
we'll
sure.
have fun.
So, we have been talking nonstop about what our plans are for getting to Reno, and everyone who's flying to Reno is connecting through somewhere.
Yeah, there's no direct flights.
There are no direct
For
flights
some
to
reason,
Reno.
I don't know what that reason is. So that we can all spend money in the airport restaurants. I think this is a conspiracy.
So I'm going to fly through San Francisco.
Oh, so
How about yourself?
you got the big flight first.
I don't
the short
know
way.
what that means.
I'm doing that on the way back. No, I'm flying through Chicago.
Oh, yes.
And so I declined to upgrade my hour-long flight for $140 to first class or whatever they call it now. Because I figure for an hour, even United can't break my body in an hour. But
see.
then I'm flying from Chicago to Reno. But they're giving me a nice 3 to 4 hour layover. So if
Ooh.
anybody has good lunch ideas for the Chicago airport, please let me know because I have a long time to walk between terminals. And I'm
For
not
sure.
carrying a board because I'm not flying.
I've been in that Chicago
It's the big,
airport
it was
before.
or is the biggest airport in the world.
It is one of the,
It was the
for
crossword
sure.
puzzle clue.
It's also
Oh,
the,
yeah.
I remember connecting through Chicago. It's the number 1 delayed
Oh,
airport.
thanks so much. Okay, so Paul Averin, if you're out there, we're supposed to have dinner Friday night, and I think you're bringing me leftovers.
Okay, so And obviously, I like that setup. You're talking about hugs, you're talking about dinners, you're talking about leftovers. That's one of the really fun parts about nationals. It's certainly, you know, even though I like to, I mean, we both end up working at nationals.
It's not work when you love it, though, is it, Josh?
That's mostly true. I don't know if you remember this, or I don't know if I said anything, but the night before the stream last year,
Yeah.
I didn't sleep at all.
Oh, is that right?
I was editing video
Yeah.
straight through.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You work a lot harder than I do.
that isn't the
I'm
point.
in the moment.
I would say your work is of a higher quality than mine.
Oh.
I have to try to make up for it
Far be it from me to disagree
through
with you
through
on live
quantity.
TVs.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. We
Okay.
have another very special guest here tonight. One of a few, and we've got different contributors showing up tonight. So I want to bring on a very good friend of ours. Let's set this up. Oh, good. We're all ready. Here she is, the absolutely wonderful and delightful Hannah Lieberman. Hannah, how are you?
Oh, thank you. I just really enjoy receiving compliments, so I'm doing great.
That's awesome. So whenever Hannah has been at a nationals, whenever we've both been there, Hannah has been part of my live NASPA Tonight broadcast, and she has handled a number of interviews, including of Peter Sokol. What is his name? The Merriam-Webster guy. Peter S.
I think it's Merriam-Webster guy. I think is his official title.
Is he going to be there this year?
I think so. I don't know. I saw.
I want him to be there this year because I've been studying the International Phonetic Alphabet for school, and I feel like I can finally hold my own in a conversation with him. Because normally he says something incredibly intelligent, and I'm like, I took French for a semester in high school, and that's me trying to keep up with him. So I need him to be there to redeem myself.
Fantastic. So I think he's going to be there because I saw a floor plan of the event
And
to try to figure out the cabling and stuff like that. And there's a section, there's his little fiefdom.
Table.
Oh. I'm sure he'd appreciate you calling it that.
Well,
You know, the key to good interviews, the key is do zero prep work and then just wing it, is what I've learned. If my time on NASPA Tonight has taught me anything. Go with the confidence of a drunk frat guy. You're golden. You got it. I'm sure that's what Anderson Cooper does, so.
yeah. That sounds about right. Absolutely. We do, now, there has been a little bit of prep brought into tonight. So we're going to hear very shortly from Art Moore, who's got a few notes about the event. But first, I wanted to talk with the two of you I wanted to go kind of light to begin with. So does anybody have any
white or light?
light?
Okay.
Before the hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah,
So.
does anybody have anything that they're planning on doing in Reno in and around the event? Or has nobody gotten that far yet?
I basically go where my mom goes because I have not matured past the age of 12. So I'm sure she has meals planned and events planned. But the last time I was in Reno, I was 19 or 20, and I am now older than 21. So who knows? Maybe it will be a slightly different experience of the city for me.
I see what you're saying, right?
Yeah. So I can go in the pool without my mom present. It's a big deal. No. Right, it's all very innocent. This is a PG-rated Facebook Live show.
I think you can go to Costco now and get samples for free without a parent.
Yeah. I just have a signed card from her that's she's approved. Yeah, it's very grown up. No, it's gonna be a different way of experiencing Reno. I'm pretty sure most people who enjoy Reno are over 21. So looking at it through sober Scrabble goggles the whole time, you're kind of oh, it's Las Vegas, but sadder. But
Now, Hannah.
No, I'll get to do that, but with some vodka.
Is it?
You brought me on the show. You know what I'm like.
Is it just you and your mom, or is your sister coming again this year?
It's just the two of us. I'm hogging my mom all to myself. But it's nice. I think we've had people join on and drop off again over the years, but my mom and I have been to nationals together for the longest time now.
Nice.
Can I interrupt for a sec?
Please.
Because I just saw a buddy of mine log on. It's Michael Fagan from Montreal. Hi, Michael. I've missed you, and I can't wait to see you in Reno. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay.
Absolutely. And hello to a bunch of people. Abdul and Chloe and Eric.
I need glasses to read the rest of this.
I know. I could have put a monitor over here. I thought I would take on the
Okay, no worries. So one of the things I'm going to do, so I remember going to this hotel.
Yes.
It's been a few years. The last time I went actually was with the family, because we have family in Palo Alto, and the whole family came. And I remember now that there's this whole tunnel. So these, because in Reno, the hotels can be kind of sketchy, some of them.
And they're connected.
But this isn't one of them. And this was on a row of them. And so, there's circus, okay, that's, okay. But it's all kind of interconnected, and being from Canada, I'm used to the underground, right? So it's like a bit of an underground, and you can get to a whole bunch of really great, the restaurants were really, really good. You didn't even need to go outside of the hotel. You had a huge variety. The food was delicious. And after a day when you're exhausted, you've got your trivia games, because we got things going on at night.
Right.
Town hall meeting. I mean, you want to stay close, so you actually don't even have to leave the hotel, and you're going to have a good meal, actually. So, and there's a really great Mexican. They had that Mexican place. That was fun.
That's what I was going to talk about. Is I think the last time we were in Reno, there was this Mexican place for me that was right across the street from the play area. So you actually had to leave the. But that was almost as far as I got in Reno during 5 days there.
Wow. So my mom and I. Totally different philosophy. We went on the Riverwalk. She likes to find the little hole in the wall place that has the one Yelp review, and she's like, this could survive on diners, drive-ins, and dives or something. And then she finds the place she likes and she sticks there. And she does the whole thing where she befriends the chef, and then they end up visiting her in Charlotte, and she donates a. It's a whole she becomes one with the city.
I really hope my kids are watching this, because they think that this only happens to me, but I think it's actually happening on an entire new level with your mom.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm friendly. Yeah. Uber friendly.
She likes to find the little local places, and she also likes to walk insane amounts. So she'll be like, this one's only 5 miles away, so we can totally walk there. We're straying very far from the hotel.
Nice. Very good. Okay. Here's what I want to do now. I want to hear from Art Moore. So this is, I think, about just over a minute long, or maybe a minute 30 or something, and then we'll come right back live. But Art has got some things to tell us. Hold on. Where's Art? There's Art.
And he's our beloved director, so we must
Yes,
listen.
That is a good way to set this up.
We are obligated to listen.
Absolutely. Okay, so we'll be back live in a minute 30. Joining me today is our special guest, Art Moore, director of the North American Scrabble Championship. Art, how are you?
I'm doing great. A little frazzled, but that comes with the territory this time of year.
We're a week out, less than a week out. How busy are you?
Have you tried to email me lately? I'm very busy.
Can you tell me, what is Swag Sunday?
Swag Sunday. Now, if you signed up early enough, or if you bought one later, or if you're a volunteer, you're getting a T-shirt. And we hope you're going to wear that on Sunday. And if you're not going to wear that T-shirt, maybe you have a different Scrabble shirt, or a Scrabble cap, or a jacket, or something. We want everyone to come out in force on Sunday with their Scrabble gear. And, we want to blanket the city of Reno. But everyone who's in the area know that we're here to play Scrabble.
One of the things that the NASC runs on is volunteers. So I know you've put out a message to volunteers before. Is there any help that you still need for the NASC?
Yes. So, I really need some help on the registration desk. It's not hard to do. Someone walks up, they'll give you their name, you get their information, and you give it to them. They have a shirt, they're picking up proxies. It's really easy to do. Setting up the room is a big task. I need people there. Tearing down, I need people there as well. So if you sign up ahead of the tournament, I'll have a T-shirt for you as well. If you don't have one for Swag Sunday, you'll have one. And if you have two of them, then you can wear them both. And I want to see. It's a lot of work. It's a ton of work. And if I have to stay there till 3 a.m. the night before, I will. But if I have to come make a tie-breaking decision on something, it might not go in anyone's favor.
Can you explain how this role that you fill is really a two-person job, and the role that Diane fills, and tell everybody who Diane is?
Oh, Diane is my wonderful wife. When we have our staff meeting ahead of the event, I tell everyone, if you want to know what needs to be done, ask me. If you want to know where something is, ask her. She is my left hand, my right hand, and probably my left foot as well. She is the cog that really turns things. When it was offered to me to take over as director, I said, let me think about it. And she said, yes, we'll do it. I'm grateful to have her in my life, and you may not realize it, everyone out there in NASPA land, but you're grateful. She's in my life also because she's really, really most important player getting this thing going.
And we're back. I want to introduce to the stream the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, César Del Solar. How are you, César?
Hey, what's up? Hey, doing good.
Thanks for hopping on here. Yeah, so
Still honeymooning, César.
are you still honeymooning?
No, I was actually studying hard bingos because I need to do well at nationals.
Same.
But yeah.
It's got the word
yeah.
hard in it. It works.
The toughies. I'm studying the toughies.
Very good. So, César, you are I believe, hold on. I think I can look this up right now. You are currently the number 9 seed in the NWL lexicon. How do you like your chances?
Well, I think they're better than I feel better about them than ever before. But I still don't know if, I mean, Will is a better player, it's a few more people. I'm like the lowest of my group. If you look at the roto, I'm like the lowest person in the 2000s.
Is anyone picking you in the roto?
Yeah, but it's mostly like my friends and wife and myself. So, I mean, it's really nice of them. I don't know why they're wasting their votes on me because, somebody from the top group is probably going to win nationals. So
How did this go from, I think I'm pretty good, to, I don't deserve to live on Earth? Like, where's that?
This has been an emotional roller coaster from my end.
That took, 30 seconds? Like, what?
This has been my experience with Czar here, is that that's just his perpetual state of being.
Oh.
It goes from irrational confidence to the opposite of
My summary would be like, I'm studying a little bit to like, my wife is a little bit dumb for believing in me right now. It's a summary of what happened.
Here's the bottom line. I believe in Czar, and I want to see you on those top tables the last 2 games. So that's one of the things that I'm
Yes,
looking forward to.
I want to
in
be
Reno.
criticizing your game.
yes, that would be awesome. I would like Robin to talk about my game. That's my goal to have Robin commentate in the game because that means I made it to the top tables, right?
That's all it means.
And I should just look at the registration. But are both you and Mina going to be in Reno?
Yeah, she's also
Okay,
playing.
fantastic.
She's playing Collins Division.
Yes, absolutely. That makes sense. Well, very nice. And do you have anything that you're looking forward to in Reno outside of the playing room and the boards and all that kind of stuff?
There's a really good Thai restaurant. I need to find out which one it was, but I went there once the last time I was there, and I liked it a lot. I think the food in Reno is actually pretty decent. So yeah, looking forward to eating good food, seeing like friends like Kenji. I haven't seen him in a while, and just seeing my friends from all over the country and gather
What
for
does
some
this say about
feasting.
us? We're in Reno. You've asked now 3 people, what are you doing after hours? Not a single person has said a show. Not a single person has said a bar. Not a single person has said gambling.
Are there
We're all-
shows in Reno?
There have
Not
to
like
be,
Vegas,
right?
but yeah.
It's called the Scrabble Musicale, and it is
Right.
You?
Right, and I'm
Give
gonna
it to
out
us,
of this
Anna.
world.
I'm gonna perform in it if anybody wants to sing. So I'm gonna bring my ukulele or something.
Oh, that's fun.
And Hannah, you'll perform again, right?
I'm sure I will. Again, I'm going to go into it with the preparation of someone who just has way more confidence than they should, and we will all see what happens. It's very exciting.
You're a good singer.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, well, I try.
Yeah, I started to talk about the Mexican restaurant, but the other thing that I'll do is I'll play a little blackjack for sure. And
yeah, I'm gonna play some.
I always like Scrabble when it's combined with gambling.
Do you?
Yeah. Like I like going to places like New Orleans has that casino down there. I mean, it's a kind of tiny little tacky casino, but it's a casino.
Well, for a lot of people playing gambling, they'll have a much better chance of winning money next week than cashing out in Scrabble, including César, who
Don't
has
say
clearly
that.
said.
Well, I mean, it's
that
true.
It's not
Like,
even.
I mean, the
Some of us would have better odds playing the lottery, so.
Like the casino's almost 50-50. If you tell me I'm a 50-50 shots of cash, I'll be very happy.
No. I'm going to see you in the final day, César. I'm sure of it.
That'll be awesome.
Mainly just because you'll be in the same room physically.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'll be like, well, I'm mathematically eliminated.
I'll have you get my coffee.
But she will see you, is the point.
So, César, let me ask you this: as the number 9 seed, what does your preparation look like? Are you using Aerolith for your prep, or do you use something else?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I do use Aerolith. I mostly use like a card program that I wrote for Aerolith that I still have not fully released.
Okay.
So I'm going to release that shortly, hopefully soon. I keep talking about releasing it. But I'm also studying like all the tough bingos. So I collected like many years of data on like who misses what bingos. So now I have like a definitive list of which bingos are the toughest. And I can narrow that down by probability. So thank you all for contributing to that data. I'm going to try to make it public. I know. I'm going to try to make it public
Are you like
after
watching
nationals.
me when I play?
No, it's not quite that creepy, but I do have like just like rough data about which bingos are missed more often, and it's what you would expect. Like everybody misses the same bingos, so I'm studying them and trying to drill them.
And that is that's the box of cards feature. Is that right?
No, that's still just the regular word walls. It's just a separate.
That's
it's just
where
a
the
search.
data is coming from. But the forthcoming feature.
Oh,
is
the forthcoming
box of
feature.
cards.
That's right, box of cards.
Okay, fantastic. And just in case anyone has been living under a rock and doesn't know what Aerolith is the place where you go to study Scrabble, but in a gamified way, right? That's how I tend to describe it. It's really, if you can't commit to multiple hours of card boxing a day to improve your game, and you want to put 5 or 10 minutes in, or longer, that's the, what?
Okay.
That's the place to go, is
Every morning,
aerolith.org.
I wake up and one of the first things I do is I play Aerolith, and if you have data on that, César, you know it's true. Usually from 7:30 to 9, 8:30, like an hour and a half. Oh yeah,
That's
adore
awesome.
your program. You
guys are blowing my mind. I'm also just impressed that you get up at 7:30, so it's very easy to impress me. But today I was like, maybe I should study. Is that a thing people do? I should do that maybe.
Aerolith makes it so much fun and so easy, and he keeps. Although this thing where you make one little lousy mistake in spelling and you.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You gotta read. That's killing me.
It's a little controversial, you know.
Yeah, it's got its ups and downs. It's got its pluses because it really forces me to think before I put something down, which I think is smart because it echoes not putting something down on the board too quickly.
Exactly, and that's exactly why I wrote it. But I know that it has a little bit of it's a little too far. Maybe I'm still thinking about how to.
Well, if you keep
make that
making the
better.
same spelling mistake twice, you shouldn't be penalized twice. I just wanted to say that to you. I've been wanting to say it to you for months.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, maybe that's a change I can make. That's a good point.
Oh my God, my time here is.
It was all worth it coming
So
into
much
the
drive.
studio. Okay, here's what I want to do. While we just touched on preparation, I want to hear from one of the other competitors, and that would be our number 1 seed from NWL, a young man who used to have an association with this show here. You might have heard of him. His name is Jackson Smiley. That's right. And Jackson took a interesting route to get ready for NASC this year.
Tell him what you thought what I said I thought he was doing
I
to
can't
get to Reno.
yeah.
I thought he was biking because he bikes stuff. And then I realized, geez, that's Reno. It's like pretty far.
pretty far. And you'd have to bike up into the mountains, right? Like Reno's in the mountains.
So it's an extra 15 minutes.
Well, I guess that's what Nigel.
That's like aerolift time, you know?
Okay, so we're going to take a look at, and when I meant route, I didn't mean bicycle route. I meant his life choices and his preparation plan heading into nationals. Yeah, well, it's a whole thing. So here we go. This is a 2-minute interview, so let's
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
let's hear from Jackson. Here we go. I'm joined by Jackson Smiley, the number 1 seed of the North American Scrabble Championship. Jackson, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Now, you've been away, is that right? Where have you been?
Yes, so I was tree planting in northern Ontario for 2 months.
Right.
I got back almost a week ago. I've been studying hard since then in Toronto.
Yeah, so this was part of a larger plan to tank at nationals, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I was getting too good. That was the problem. I had to just tone it down a bit.
So you went away for 2 months, but obviously you would have had Ziziva and Aerolith and like all these tools to keep your skills sharp. Is that right?
I mean, you would think, but I was living in a tent. We didn't have any cell service. No, not much anything service. So all I had with me was my trusty word book. And I was able to do some alphagrams on the bus, but not much.
Okay, so now you're trying to make up for 2 months of not studying, not playing either.
Yeah, not playing.
Into like a week before we go into nationals.
Yeah, so I haven't been studying super hard. You try to make up for it a bit. Honestly, I feel like I've just accepted that tree planting was its own kind of preparation, like mental preparation, focus, and everything. But technically speaking, I'm not going to be as prepared as I would be otherwise.
Right, so how do you like your chances going into this event?
I would put my chances at about maybe 10%.
Right, even as the number 1 seed.
Even as the number 1 seed, yeah. I mean, like, the thing is, every number 2 seed, number 3 seed is still really good. So it's not like being the number 1 seed gives you this special edge.
All right, very good. And heading into nationals, what's going on with your hair? Because I feel like that's changed.
Well, a haircut is coming soon, but...
All right, well, there we have it, folks. The number 1 seed for the North American Scrabble Championship. We're going to keep close eye on your performance.
Yeah.
And I guess fingers crossed, right?
My fingers are crossed. Hopefully all of yours are too.
Very good. Okay, so we're back. Obviously, Jackson seems to have taken the approach that studying is not his main thing. He's working on sort of mental positioning and trying not to tilt. He actually shared with me that every year of the Nationals, on the day of the musicale, he'll have a number prepared. Usually him and Josh Jr. will do some kind of musical number. And he will tank so hard on that day that he just can't do it. And I think last year he left the stage in the middle of the performance. So what I want to know, so what he did was he went tree planting for 2 months without all that prep. So César, what are you going to do to avoid tilting at this year's Nationals if you lose a couple of games in a row?
I've been getting better about that. I've had a few tournaments recently where I've lost several games in a row and I've come back to do well. Like at the New York tournament, I lost 4 in a row and I won the tournament. There's only 16 games. So, I mean, it was just about taking every game, it's okay, just staying focused, forgetting what happened. It's very hard, and it's easier said than done, but I've been getting better at it, so I'm just going to keep that same attitude.
And how would you define tilting, just for people who don't know what that is?
Just being unable to focus, and actually not only being unable to focus, but starting to make bad plays because of misconceptions that you have and lack of focus. So, like, for example, if you've been drawing too many eyes, maybe you're like, oh, I can't keep an eye on this play because I'm going to draw another eye, and then you make a worse play. That kind of thing. Like, that's like a minor version of it. Major version would be where you just, like, are so mad that you play fast and you miss things. So, it's anything in between.
So, Robin or Hannah, have you ever been on tilt in Scrabble?
Yeah, I've been practicing losing games for about 10 years now, just to kind of familiarize myself with the feeling, so as to not tilt. So,
Nice. I like
yeah, I just, but it's if anyone is interested in the methodology I use to stay comfortably in the middle of Division 3, they're happy to. I'm very willing to give my advice. I gave myself a break from studying for about a decade, so these are all ways to prevent tilting.
For me, I've been lucky that I haven't had too many of those, or maybe I have, and they haven't affected me, so I don't remember. But I do remember one year in Orlando, and I was just thinking about this the other day, and I'd lost like 4 or 5 in a row, and I was so pissed off. I was so angry, and we went to a restaurant, and they charged us like $24 for like 2 ounces of meat, and I literally threw it at the waiter.
Oh my God.
This is why it's nice to go to the tournament with your mom, because she'll be like, go take a nap.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't handle it very well.
That's amazing. Oh, I have
That's a sign of a competitor. So, you know what?
For sure.
It's fine.
You know what I do? If I'm having like a really bad tournament, I'll take my record sheet and I'll like fill out wins for the rest of the games and just like, I think I'm like willing it into existence. I'm like, I will manifest this. And then I always have to like awkwardly cross it out because I wrote in pen and I lost another game. But you like, I'll write it out and be like, best case scenario, I'm ending even this tournament. And then, you just like will it into existence.
We have to.
I like that idea.
What's
Yeah,
that?
thank you.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Really?
I should try that.
Sometimes you can just make it happen.
For sure.
But without cheating or doing anything illegal.
So that's like the secret method of Scrabble. Now, Robin, you wanted to add to that, and then
Well,
I
I'm
have a
thinking of
follow-up.
Djokovic this weekend, or I'm thinking of Coco last week. Facing so many.
These are tennis players.
This is tennis. Sorry, but okay. Scrabble's a sport, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
facing so many championship points or getting match points or whatever, and just like no. And I've had it. I remember once playing a game too, where I was playing somebody, and I think he heard me, and I went no, like no, you're not gonna lose to this person. Did I think that, or did I say that out loud? But anyhow, I won the game. So.
That's awesome.
You can't will yourself out of anything.
I really enjoy your tilting stories. But my
done.
follow-up question was going to be, have you ever observed anyone on screen that you felt was in that position?
While I was doing the.
Yes, when you're doing commentary.
It's very hard, you can't discern like if you're watching a tennis match, you can see that the body language with this, that. You really can't see it. And so, really, no. I have to say no. The only time I've seen very bad play was as a result of the person being in the finals who really didn't deserve to be there. This was not in the Nationals in the States. It was at another tournament that I was doing commentary on. And they just weren't as good a player, and they got in, and you could see that the level of play wasn't as high. So that's the only time I've ever seen consistently bad plays in a row, which might indicate a kind of tilting attitude. But otherwise, I've been exceedingly impressed with everybody I've ever done. I find that they play to the best of their abilities, and they find a way to win. That's why they've been champions.
That's amazing. Now all I can do is rack my brain for the overseas tournaments that you've
Go
called.
online, you'll figure it out.
Okay. Okay, so let's. We should also talk about who else is in the field and who is not in the field this year.
Yeah, that's
So-
something I wanted to bring up because I actually
Please, go
went
ahead.
through all the different rosters. Now, obviously, on the American side, on the American Dictionary side, we have a lot of big names, but I would love to see a bit more. But what I was really shocked about was when I went over to the Collins side, that there's only 35, number one.
Right.
Number two, Do you know how many are for it that are not from the United States or Canada?
How many?
Guess. Out of 35. Come on.
Well, the fact that you're asking the question, I'll say 10.
Yeah, 3. One from Australia, one from
Wow.
United Arab, and one more. I'm trying to remember the other one. Like, is that not shocking? I wonder. So let's have a discussion. What do we think that's about?
Well, I think that there are a couple of things. So one is Reno is a more difficult place to get to than other
Even if
places
you're from
in
Asia,
North America.
you can't come over. Can you come over the Pacific? Like,
I don't know.
think
Don't you come the other way?
You have to come around the world. Like,
I don't know.
No, you go through the Pacific. It's just Reno. There's like no nonstop flights probably, so they probably have to transfer
The water.
LA or LA or San Francisco or something.
They could go the biking method.
Yeah.
There was a big tournament last week that a lot of people went to.
Yes.
In Thailand. Was it Thailand? Yeah.
Yes.
So that could be part of the reason, but like, where's Nigel this year? Like, can anyone talk to him and ask him? Did anybody do that? Why aren't you coming to nationals?
I don't know if anyone does that.
Maybe the money's not big enough this year.
No, but I think the money is going to be the same. Although I don't know, actually, because they don't publish the sort of prize formula ahead of time. So it may be sort of not enough people are on there and then people aren't jumping
What can
on.
we do to make nationals more enticing? Even, 293 people come to nationals. It's a nice number. We always think of New Orleans as the benchmark of,
805 or something.
So is the social committee coming up with new plans to try, like, what can we do to get
So-
people, and people who are watching, like, write in and tell us, what do you think needs to be done in order to entice people to come? Because even when we had it in New Orleans the second time, we didn't get, what was it, 700? It was something crazy, right?
So we have some commentators here. Jonathan Lind and Sarah Rosenbaum both say that Tony Leah posted something about Nigel's defending the French championship, and it's very close to when Nationals is.
Okay.
And what I was going to say was that there are a couple of things about Nationals, right? We used to have much higher numbers for Nationals,
Yeah.
but that was during the time when Nationals was every couple of years.
That's true.
And that's something that has been considered for sure. Is maybe scaling that back. I think one of the most impressive things that NASPA has done with very limited funding compared to the NSA is make this commitment to holding an NASC every year.
Amazing.
I wouldn't have it any other way. I agree with you that the number being under 300 is not super exciting, but what I've been talking about on NASPA Tonight over the last few weeks as we've approached NASC is there are a lot of benefits to holding an NASC, and I personally don't believe that the attendance number is the end-all and be-all as to whether the event is successful. What's great about the NASC is it helps garner media attention, it helps push that message out, we get to do the live stream, we get to do a number of things that are good for our community. And also, NASPA likes this idea of moving the nationals around the country to try to appeal to different audiences. And we know the West is sort of less developed. There are less tournament Scrabble players.
Oh. Thought it was a frontier thing. Okay.
So, but at the same time,
It's less developed.
So at the
They're
same
still on flip phones out there.
At the same time, I would love to see, and have talked with different people about this, like if we made okay, we're gonna go to Vegas and we're gonna go there for 5 years in a row. Like I feel like there are other
Like a
competitive,
residency, like
yes,
Lady Gaga.
sure, exactly.
Chain smokers.
So people know what it is ahead of time, and it's in a place that's very accessible, and that might be a way to build some of those
I
numbers
don't know.
up.
I would think the opposite. If I knew it was there 5 years in a row, I would say, okay, I'll come this year, but it's not so crucial to come next year because it's going to be there the following year. So I think there's arguments to be made both ways.
There
I see
are,
what
for
you're
sure,
saying.
for sure. But, part of it is the attraction of the city, right? This is the third Nationals that'll be held in Reno. We've done 2 in Buffalo. So there's that as well.
Well, it's so hard to put on. I mean, the logistics of putting on to get a hotel that's easily accessible, that's available, that it's not too crazy the price, so you have to do it at a time of year. Reno in July, is not ideal. So that's how you can get a cheaper room. So all these things have to be put into consideration. I don't envy them the hard work that they do.
There's a lot of work that goes into it. We heard from Art Moore before. If you're going to nationals, he would appreciate some help on registration desk and a few other tasks like setup and tear down.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of people in the volunteer section.
That's right.
Of the webpage.
That's all
and
listed
kind of sad,
online.
So.
So anyway, anybody who wants to help out with that
Get a
are
t-shirt.
certainly welcome
Jesus.
to. That's right.
For
Free
Swag
t-shirt.
Sunday, or would they?
I feel like it wouldn't have the same ring if it were like Swag Tuesday, so I think Sunday's a pretty safe bet.
The alliteration makes it. Okay.
Now, I've got another question for César, being in that top 10. How did you feel when you saw Will Anderson switch from Collins to TWL? You mentioned him in one of your answers earlier, I believe. So what are your thoughts there?
He told me he was telling me he was thinking of switching in Albany, and like shortly before he actually did switch. So when he said that, I just said, "Oh man, my chances of winning just went to like 0 now," because they were like at 0.01.
So
Then you
I
had a
don't.
chance to
none
put
of-
something in his drink. So sorry.
Now, the
Will's a
reason I
very
bring
nice
this
guy.
up,
Interesting.
the reason I bring this up, and number one, I would love to see a César versus Will final and see César.
Wow, that would be
I
something.
love both of these
Wow.
guys.
Is
but
Joel coming back to? I don't
Joel
think
is
Joel's
not going to be there.
Do you know why?
Actually, one of the interesting things about the lineup is it's rather youth-oriented this year. If you look at the top 10,
Being the same age as Joel, I kind of resent that statement, but okay, go ahead.
I said youth or anyway, I'm not going to.
No worry about it.
So
Move on.
we've got players with less experience, I would say, this time around. So I think it's going to be very interesting for the competition.
César, do you feel that you have the stomach and the mental fortitude if you were to be in that final to just be able to concentrate? Do you have enough experience?
Oh yeah,
under your belt?
I think so. I mean, if I make the final, I'm gonna give it my all. I've been on stream before. I've been annotated, not too many times, but it doesn't really. Actually, I think it makes me play better because then I see everybody's watching me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a chance I'll miss something, get nervous, but I think I'll play. If I make the finals, I think I'll play okay.
That's great.
Very good. Now, the reason I brought up Will in that question is we have a little video contribution from Will that I think everybody will enjoy. It's only about a minute long.
Always
Are
love
you
to
all
hear
right?
from Will. I
Okay.
adore Will. Who doesn't?
Will,
No, so I'm not joking. I adore Will.
no, Will's amazing. So this
I
is,
also adore him.
we all do. Hannah, you haven't spoken up about
Thumbs up over here. Oh, it's very controversial.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to hear from Will. This is a video that is a minute 18 seconds long, and he talks about switching from one lexicon to the other.
Oh, hello there. Didn't see you there. I'm Will Anderson, coming to you from beautiful Aruba. Just doing a little beach reading in preparation for the upcoming National Scrabble Championship. After some deliberation, I've decided I will be playing the NWL dictionary, not Collins. And for those of you that know me, you might be saying, wow, what? Really? This is some kind of a gimmick? Well, let me tell you, I don't do gimmicks. I'm in it to win it. I know I can win this division. I'm also excited to play lots of TWL friends that I haven't played in a year or two. And I'm really excited, so let's bring it on. Good luck to everybody in Reno.
There we go. That is Will from
That was
Aruba.
awesome.
I feel like I was rickrolled.
So now, César, you have now another challenge ahead of you, and that's to ascertain to what extent Will can keep the dictionary separate.
Yes.
And
Right.
how confident are you in your word knowledge that you know when he's making a mistake?
I mean, in Albany, I played PIRAI after about 4 minutes of trying to talk myself into telling myself that is the TWL word. And of course, it's Collins only, but it took me about 4 minutes, and I said, okay, it's a TWL word. So if he can keep it, like that's me after just a little bit of studying. So I think he can do better than that because, he has an awesome memory.
Well, and it is true. I mean, between the two of them, because Cesar has sort of pussyfooted around with Collins in the last year or so, right? I don't know if that's a politically correct term. I don't know, but you've played around with both lexicons, so
He
maybe
grabbed the
both of
dictionary
them.
by the- So,
I think what you should do is you should play some Collins words against him, and then he'll forget where he is and get, disoriented. It's a mind game kind of deal. No rules against mind games.
I mean, it might come down to that. Like maybe I'll play some low probability Collins word that I picked up from somewhere. Like if it comes down to that. But
sometimes
I don't
it's
think
an
I'll get away with
advantage.
it.
You're both playing Collins quite a bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see one word at least on your board that's Collins that you both didn't realize. It's Collins
Yeah, it's
only.
possible.
It'll happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, I just had a thought. There are a lot of people who push that we should be switching things over for Collins. And could you imagine if it was like a best of 3 finals with these two guys and they just made a handshake deal? We're just
Gonna play Collins
gonna play Collins.
during the TWL.
Correct. And it's not TW, it's NW.
And okay, so.
Yeah, you're gonna have to tighten up
That'll do it.
on that one.
Change
Well,
is hard.
That'll be interesting.
What does the N stand for?
NASPA. It's the NASPA
Wait,
word
so-
list.
Wait, so
Go ahead,
technically, it's an acronym for an acronym. So it's the North American Scrabble Players Association word list.
It's a very meta
Yeah.
thing.
It is the yes, that's right.
Now we need
It's a-
association to stand for something, and we're just like in the matrix.
It's an acronym within an acronym. I do like that. That's pretty fun. So yeah, NWL.
NWL.
It's,
Thank you.
it's
for
a
teaching me.
recursive. It's a recursive acronym. It stands for NWL word list.
Office of the NWL Word List Organization.
So I know we have Julia Bogle in the audience. Hi, Julia.
Yes.
And I noticed, Julia, darling, that I don't know if you're still there, but you are playing in Division 1. And that's something that this tournament allows. It's an open in the sense that they allow people to play up, I think, as much as they want, or is there a limit? Do you know?
So I think that anyone can play in Division 1. I don't believe there's a limit.
Okay.
And if we were to take a look, I could probably bring this up on screen, but there are...
There she is, 52
what's-
of 54.
54 minus 34. There are 20 players playing up
Right.
into Div 1. Maybe I should try to put that on the screen so you can see it.
So, Cesar, what is your feeling about playing somebody who's playing up? Does that change your game at all?
A little bit. I can try to get away with, I don't know. I usually don't play phonies, but if needed, I've been playing them a little more often. So, like I might play more phonies, and I might just play like a maybe super aggressive board early, and then close it down later or something. I don't know. I try to not change my style too much, but
Yeah.
just playing more phonies maybe, or if needed. Besides that, no, I like that people play up. I think we should have one division, but that's something else.
Oh, right. So
Well, they've been opens. They've
go
been opens.
one whole
The
division.
Dew was a big open. The Dallas Open was an open. Dallas
Okay.
Open.
Yeah, but not that isn't a nationals.
No, but we've had tournaments that are open.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so you have opportunities to do that.
Sure.
I don't know if that would like drum up attendance or completely intimidate some people.
Completely intimidate, 100%.
Yeah.
And people want a chance to win something.
Right. So that we've got Mina has appeared in the comments, and Mina and Cesar are exchanging.
Mina.
Yeah, I want to say hi to Mina. I don't feel comfortable calling Mina baby bun that Cesar just did. So
Oh, baby bud.
So hello, Mina, and welcome. Can't wait to see you in Reno. Can't wait to see everybody in Reno. We also have Bob Bolander, who has helpfully given us the number of TWO players in the last 10 years, which has tightly ranged from 292 to 495, something like that, over the last 10 years. So we are down a little bit. And,
Is this the lowest attendance?
this is, I believe, in NASPA's tenure, since it's switched over to NASPA. This will be the lowest rated. This will be the lowest attended NASC. But I think, we're a little bit off from where we were in 2015 when we were in Reno, which was a lot of our current players' first chance to go to Reno. And that was just 4 years ago. So I think that plays into it. But there are also some other benefits of playing in Reno. Whenever I'm going into, this is what I get accused of all the time, is defending NASPA. But one of the things we always get into with NASPA is the amount of liability, the amount of money that is on the table should anything go wrong with the event. There's massive weather, stuff like that. And Reno is a city where there's a really limited risk for the organization. And we probably, as an organization that is relatively small, should be taking that into account.
Yeah, I think sometimes people forget that, the choice of where Nationals is being held isn't meant to be like a punishment. Everybody's trying their best to, as you said, limit liability, find a place that's affordable for everybody, find a place that can be easily gotten to, alternate the coasts. So much has gone into it, and it's so easy to just, spew the anger. And I always say, join the committee then, and see all the work that actually goes into it. And I don't think anybody would. And also, the liability on Chris, who really has taken this on himself as a businessman. And why are you laughing?
No, I just remember one story because I think there was one Orlando where the liability, so basically the number of guaranteed rooms weren't filled.
Yeah, because he has to put down a chunk of change.
He had to take that on. That was at a time where he was personally guaranteeing the championships, so he had to take on that debt. And he and his family visited the same hotel, the same place on vacation, 4 years in a row to use up that dough.
Oh my God!
I know.
Right? Oh.
So anyway,
wow.
That's a little inside baseball
that,
when it comes to NASC. And so there are advantages to Reno, and the bottom line is I would say we're all going to have a lot of fun. For me, whether we have 300 or 400 or 500 or 600, it's not going to change the quality of what I want to do. I don't think it's going to change anything about the role that you're going to fill.
No, and I want you to come visit me, because I'm not working until Tuesday, it turns out. But I'm going to be there starting Saturday, like everybody. So I'm going to do interviews in between games. So come and see me if you had a great game. You had a terrible game, something you want to tell me, I'll get it on tape and we'll put it up online for you. So look for me.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for you too.
And we may do the same thing with Hannah. Hannah may take
yeah.
either a couple of interviews or may sit beside me when we're doing NASPA Tonight, because we'll be doing we talked about shows before. We'll be doing a floor show at the end of play every day where we talk with people, do short kind of impromptu interviews.
I loved it.
It was a lot of fun, and I think it's going to work better.
too.
I think it's going to work better this time. We literally had times last year where we were running it through my phone, and the internet was crazy, and we lost. We had this whole.
That's showbiz, baby.
Yeah, but this time we're going to have an Ethernet drop in the room, and it's going to go better.
So I think everybody could see the intention behind the product, and even if the product isn't as smooth as it could be, every year we're learning. But the love and the enthusiasm and the energy are all there, and that's
some
really
suspension of disbelief. Picture the pyrotechnics here, and they just kind of fill it in themselves. Yeah.
I also want to point out that this is episode 58 of NASPA Tonight, if you're counting along at home, which means that once we get through Nationals, we'll be at over 60. And now, speaking of Scrabble content is the word that I'm looking to use.
Right.
I don't know if anybody has watched I found them delightful. Cesar's YouTube contributions in the last couple of weeks, Cesar quackling his games. I don't know, did I get the right title for that, Cesar?
Cesar Quackle's Games, I think I call
Cesar.
it.
Cesar. I've had
it's
Cesar
fine.
on the
You
show.
need to
a
advertise
million
that more,
times.
Cesar. I had no idea.
Well, I feel like
Yeah,
like
I
you're
might
just
actually
getting
do another
started,
one.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do another one tonight or tomorrow. It's pretty fun. It's like 10 minutes long, and I quackle a game and I show like several things about that I like about quackle or where it went wrong, or like maybe like how to use the different types of like different plies for different moves, that kind of thing. So
That would be great.
I love the format. I love the 10-minute length. I love that you have the Aerolith dashboard along the bottom, so you can crank out word definitions when you don't know them.
yeah,
You had one
Thanks.
game that
Oh,
you.
okay, you know what? Thank you for Cesar. Once I have you here, let me ask you a question. Why is it that the definitions for the Collins Dictionary are complete? When you look up a word that you missed afterwards, they all are filled up. But when I look at the North American side, there's so many blank spaces. Why does that happen in Airline?
blank spaces meaning like
They don't have a definition.
like we're usually for longer words, right? Anything that's longer
You know
than
me,
8.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
So anything.
Collins has the longer ones, but North American doesn't.
Yeah, so I think it just has to do with the database. Like I think I need John Chu to give me more definitions, but he's been doing a good job of filling them out. I was thinking of doing something about like crowdsourcing definitions. Maybe have people type them in or take some of them from the Collins Dictionary, etc. So yeah, that's something that I want to do. But yeah, that just reminded me when you asked me that question about the longer words. That Robin once asked me at a tournament a long time ago. She asked me like, so in Aerolith, why is it that you can only do the words in a certain order? And I was like, no, you can do them in any order. But it just so happened that like she solves every single word, so it doesn't matter what order she did them in. She just went through them like if it was one after the
same.
other. So I thought that was
Yeah,
funny.
that same problem. Yeah.
But you know, I found the words to be a lot of like the newer words.
Right.
And is that intentional? I wanted to ask you.
Yes, it's gonna be it's gonna be like that for just a couple more days. I'm trying to collect data on every single word because I was almost done. It's just some of the newer words I don't have enough data on to see how many people got them wrong, and that way I can have my database of the hard words and then sell it for lots of money.
Yeah, for me not to get
I think.
100, it's kind of like it's a stake through my heart.
Oh wow! So you
Well,
actually didn't get a.
Oh no, I haven't for a few days on a few of them.
Oh wow!
Because I haven't studied, you know.
But that
Let's see how
is
Robin
making
did.
some sense. Yeah, that would be good. Get those stats up.
Oh,
that
shit,
makes-
94.4%, Robin. Wow.
It's like an F, right, for me? Like
Yeah.
Now,
Well, now you won't miss them at nationals. Oh, you're not playing. Well, you won't miss them with commentating.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna have Quackle, so like I won't miss them.
I think I'm going to blame the new words too because I logged on to Aerolith for the first time in years, I think, and played one quiz and got 29%.
You were pleased with
I'm
that?
proud.
Double digits. Okay.
That's right.
Maybe you've got Trumpian fingers and you're making mistakes when you hit the letter.
Covfefe. Yeah.
What did you say?
That
There's
explains
no
how this
problem here, folks. But yeah, no, I'm not a good typist. That's true.
That's what everyone says who doesn't do well on Airline.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Okay.
We know better.
So, when it comes to Reno, I think we've done a pretty good job here of covering the event. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait for all of us to see each other, and I can't wait to see everyone who's watching tonight there at the event. Does anybody have any final thoughts about Reno, about life, about Aerolith, anything?
It's a competition. As much as it's a competition, it's also a family reunion. So
Yeah.
open your heart to the phenomenon of nationals and not just to the worry about the games, and you'll have a much better time.
I love it.
Yeah.
So nice.
It's
Okay.
actually literally a family reunion for me, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
Okay, so that's about going to do it. We're going to bring Scrabble Cat up on the screen. That is a cat owned by a former TWL champion, Matthew Tenethcliffe.
Oh my.
And I am putting the cat over on Cesar's side of the screen for good luck. And that's what I'm doing. All right. And we'll do it even one better. We're gonna go out with Cesar and the cat. Okay.
Wow.
I love it.
There we go. Thanks everybody
Cool
for
program.
joining. Thanks everybody for watching. I feel like I don't need to say it this week, but I say it every time. So I'm compelled. Support your local director. They're working hard for you. In this case, your local director is in Reno, Nevada, because I don't think there are any tournaments this week. So can't wait to see you there. Hannah, can't wait to see you at the NASPA Tonight desk. Robin, can't wait to see you in the commentary room. And Cesar, I can't wait to see you on table 1. Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks,
All
everybody.
right, see you guys soon.
And we will see you. The next time we will be live is live from Reno, Nevada. So
Wow.
thanks, everybody, for watching. And we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.